And after its test flight was cut short, Boeing's Starliner capsule landed safely in New Mexico, parachuting down to NASA's testing facility. Despite its mission going off course, the Starliner made its history as the first time an American-made, human-rated capsule has ever landed.
That's right. Now the goal is to get that capsule back to the Space Coast. So here's what they're going to do. They're going to transport it about 1,800 miles back to Kennedy Space Center, where it first launched on Friday. Mark Lehman has been following all the developments. And Mark, even though Starliner did not make it to the International Space Station, Boeing isn't calling this a setback.
Yeah, they're still marking the flight as a success because if astronauts were on board, they would have likely made it home safely. Now, the next step is for engineers to investigate what exactly caused Friday's malfunction.
Spacecraft flew exceptionally well, and then, of course, we brought the spacecraft home. For the first time, landing a capsule on land in the United States.
It was a first for NASA as Boeing's Starliner capsule safely touched down in White Sands, New Mexico early Sunday. But the successful landing came after the spacecraft missed a docking with the International Space Station, cutting down the mission to just 2 days in space.
We're going to get, I think, a lot more data than we would have gotten had the test gone according to plan.
NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine saying valuable information was gained from the flight that ran into trouble minutes after liftoff on Friday. It was an internal clock malfunction that caused the spacecraft to miss a critical maneuver. The miscue meant an early return home, but the flight was still viewed as a success.
To me, there's good data out there that suggests that once we go through it, maybe it's acceptable to go next step, fly the crewed flight test. But we have to go through the data first.
Now the next step will be to analyze that data to determine what went wrong. Boeing saying they still have confidence in their Starliner capsule.
From an overall perspective, we are just as pleased as we could be with the design.
And the design of Boeing's spacecraft calls for it to be used for up to 10 missions. The big question now, though, is when will the capsule be reused and will another test flight be required? That's something we're hoping to learn from NASA in the coming days. Justin?
Mark, thank you.